Hello, chess family. It's me, National Master Jesse James, and it's time for another instructive chess miniature. All right, here we go. We got a game between, I'm not going to even try to pronounce this first person's name, and Shanavava? Hopefully that's correct. All right, here we go. It's a beautiful game by both of these gentlemen. Here we go. We start with e4, knight c6, a Nimzo defense, knight f3, d6, d4, knight f6, knight c3, almost like a four knights, except black never got their pawn to e5 over here. And black goes ahead and plays bishop g4, another common idea in a lot of these openings. A lot of times this light square bishop's bad, so black is more than happy to trade this light square bishop off for the knight. All right, what do? Bishop to b5, develop with a threat. Here we are threatening pawn to d5 to pin it and win it. And well, a6 gets played, bishop takes c6, and I really like this move. Although some people may not like this because we're giving away the bishop pair, here not only did we give them double pawns, but we also have a big lead in development now. Here black is just behind, and well, he never really gets back into the game. Here, well, let's keep adding pressure. Pawn to h3, questioning the bishop. Will you trade and give me a free developing move with my queen? Here black went ahead and played bishop to h5. Queen e2 developing. Already with this move, you should be asking yourself, why did white play queen e2 rather than castles? And here, hopefully you came up with the idea, white probably has the idea about castling queenside, which I do like. Again, you have a development advantage. When you have these kind of development advantages, meaning you have more pieces out, well, you should try to attack as soon as possible. And castling queenside is definitely going to be giving you that option because the rook goes to the open file. All right, here we go. e6 got played. Pawn to g4, because we know we're not going to be castling queenside. Well, it's okay to push our kingside pawns and start making some weaknesses over here for this king. All right, bishop to g6 got played. Bishop g5, developing with a threat and also getting ready to castle. Queen b8, getting out the pin and also looking at this b2 pawn. And here, well, let's just go ahead and castle queenside. And again, still a big lead in development. Here, we need to go on to our next rule, which is, well, when your opponent's in the center, you need to open up files and diagonals. So here, you should be looking at either e5 or d5 ideas. Okay, black went ahead and played queen to b6. And now a very, very nice move here. Here, this queen b6 is a little inaccurate because, well, what does white play here? I'll go ahead and give you a second to see what does white play here to get a very nice advantage. All right, hopefully push pause, hopefully try to find the best move. This one is a little bit hard because, well, it involves a piece going backwards. A lot of times people have a hard time finding moves that go backwards. They only think about moving forward, especially since I mentioned you should be looking at d5 or e5. Well, if you said d5, this is actually a pretty good move, which tries to open up the center. After d5 here, black can definitely go down the rabbit hole, and after something like pawn takes, something like e5, you'll be looking at knight takes e5 ideas here. I'm not saying it's working, but I will say it's something I would be looking at. With that being said, here the top move to play here was actually knight to d2. What's the idea? Well, here we're going to be looking about playing knight to c4 here for a free temple attacking the queen. Hey, wait a second. Isn't this pawn on d4 for free? It is for free, and I want you to take it. That's what I would say to my opponent. Of course, not verbally, but I'd be looking at him saying, hey, it's a free pawn, and oh no, maybe give him the old, tap on the head. So here, queen takes d4. And here, well, knight to c4 gets played. Here we see that the queen is definitely got a discovery on their hand. And well, we're getting a free temple. And by taking the pawn, this is a gambit pawn, we're actually opening up files. Remember, we mentioned we want to do this. All right, the queen ran back to c5. And here comes the pawn storm, pawn to f4. Now the new threat is pawn to f5, going ahead and trapping this bishop. And well, black went ahead and tried. Knight takes e4 here. Wait a second, does this work? Well, here a very interesting idea by black, which just gets beautifully refuted. Knight takes on e4, bishop takes on e4, queen takes on e4, and it's like, why did black just give up a piece? Black had the idea of playing pawn to d5. Okay, queen to e5 got played. Now you can take on c4, and well, I think that it is best for you. Queen takes on c4. And yeah, I mean, you could look about taking on c4 here with that, but after queen takes on c7, these checkmating ideas are just way too strong. Even queen to d7 checkmate in the air. You can look about trying to play another weird move like pawn to f6. Queen takes e6 check. I'm sorry, that was not a free pawn. And here, I mean, even if black tries to play something like queen to e7 here, queen takes on c6 check. And you're not winning a piece here without losing one yourself. So here in the game, black just went ahead and played queen takes on c4. And hopefully, well, you have a good feeling in this kind of position. I mean, look at this. You are down 2 pawns, but look at your development. Asleep, asleep, asleep. The queen's the only one out, and your pieces are ready to attack. here it's not too surprising to find out that, well, white's going to be winning in just a few moves here. All right, white went ahead and played queen takes c7, winning a pawn back, and also maybe some threats about queen takes c6 check here. Black went ahead and played bishop to a3, a nice gambit move here. This is definitely not the best move to play in the position, but whenever your position is looking bad, you should definitely try to complicate. So bishop a3 definitely does that in this position. And well, white goes ahead and plays rook to d4, a nice confusing move. Again, you know, they make the confusing move, you make the confusing move. Whenever you're being attacked, counter back with an attacking move. Of course, you could just take over here on the bishop. And, well, there's really nothing black had in mind here. I guess maybe something like queen takes a2 was the idea. But, you know, checkmate on e7's right here. So, I guess maybe black was just hoping that after pawn takes, he can just go ahead and safely castle. And maybe there'll be some chances for him later. With that being said, white was not being nice. Rook to d4. And here you see, well, if queen takes on d4, then, well, we get the checkmate into your queen takes on c6 check. The king must run over to f8 here, and then queen takes on 8 for check and mate. So this rook is definitely a poisoned rook. All right, a nice try here by black. Again, bishop takes on b2 check, king to b1. Of course, we don't want to take on b2 because now queen takes d4 is going to be in check here. And with the rook looking to come around here, black getting ready to castle, I definitely think that black is winning in this position quite easily. With that being said, the exclam move, king to b1, saying, no, thank you. I'm very much happy in this position. Now I'm threatening queen to e7 checkmate. And, well, black went ahead and played queen c5, saying, you know what, I'm just going to guard this. And now for the final move of the game. Can you find it? White to move and win the double exclam. Feel free to push pause here, see if you can figure it out. All right, hopefully push pause. Hope you try to figure it out. Here, believe it or not, we get the double exclam move with rook takes on d5. What a beautiful move in this position. And here we see that although there is 1, 2, 3 ways to capture this piece, well, none of them are going to be good for you. Let's take a look. Well, the first one's pretty obvious. We don't want to take with c takes d5. Why not? Well, here where the queen's just hanging, so queen takes on c5 looks good to me. And you're threatening the checkmate, and they can't castle. It's going to be game over quite fast here. Okay, what about e takes on d5? Well, e takes d5 is another loss, but just a different way. Develop with the threat. Here we're going to go ahead and play rook to e1 check. Here the king, well, has only one good square. Oh, excuse me. King going to f8 right here. And here you have the simple idea of bishop to e7 check, forking the king and queen. Checkmate is not too far away from here, or at least heavy loss of material. You know, blocking with the bishop or the queen just doesn't help at all. And of course, we got our final move here, which is, well, what happens if queen takes on d5? Hopefully you know this one. This one was not too hard. Here the queen was guarding checkmate on e7, so queen just slides over and says, thank you, check and mate. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this game. We'll see you in the next one.